Okay, today we are gonna explain about our project, which is the installation of 4 kilowatt rooftop solar PV system for a residential house under Net Energy Metering NEM scheme project. Okay, our group name is Nicola, and our group member is Mohamad AL-BUKHARI, Mohamad ZAKWAN, Mohamad Hashimi, Mohamad HAFIZURRAHMAN, and me, Mohamad NAZHAN bin AZMAN RAHIMI. Okay, now I will explain about our project description. First, project specification. These are some of the following aspects and specifications that are generally found in a 4 kilowatt rooftop solar PV system for a residential building under the Net Energy Metering NEM scheme. Okay, the first one is solar energy system. The system will be made up of numerous solar panels. Depending on the manufacturer and model, each panel would have a rating of about 250 to 300 watts. Second, inverter. In order for the house to utilize the AC electricity produced by the solar panel, an inverter is needed to transform the DC power that the solar panel produce. With a 98% maximum efficiency, the inverter will have a 4 kilowatt rating. And next, net energy metering. The system will be wired into the grid, and any extra energy it produces would be returned to the grid through a net meter. Next, about our objective. The first one is to understand the net energy metering NEM scheme and its significance. Second, to analyze on how to present a graphical representation of data in Microsoft Excel. The third one is to study the functioning principle of a solar PV system. And number four, to determine the critical path and minimum duration to complete the project. And the last one is to generate the Gantt chart for the project. Okay, thank you for lending your ears. That's all from me, and I will pass to my friend, which is Mohamad Zakwan Anwar, to continue to explain for his part.
Now we move to the project description, which is we need to know about scope of work and list of activities. Okay, my name is Mohamad Zakwan bin Anwar. My metric number is 2010921171. Okay, the scope of work we explain. I will explain this. This project will consist of title research, project introduction, project description, work breakdown structure WBS, network diagram, Gantt chart, and lastly is project conclusion. The actual installation of a 4 kilowatt rooftop solar PV system for a residential house under the Net Energy Metering NEM scheme project is not included in this project. This written report is only a proposal for how the project will be completed. Okay, now we move to the list of activities. Total of activities in our project are 12, which uh, activity A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and L. Okay, and now the higher of the duration it take was activity G, which installation of PV system and new meter if needed. The duration day of the activity G is 14 days, and the second higher of H, activity H, which testing and commissioning, and it take 7 days. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day. My name is Mohamad Hashimi bin Mohamed Imran. Today I will explain about the resources requirement and budget estimation. We have around 12 tasks. For example, task E, design the solar PV system which comply with NEM requirement and specification. The budget estimation is around 500. Next is for selecting the component. For example, resource requirement, wire, solar panel, charge control, battery, and inverter is around $50,000. Next is installation of PV system and new meter if needed. This budget estimation is around 15,000. Next is testing and commissioning. This budget estimation is around 1,500. Okay, next is about linear responsibility chart. This is the linear responsibility chart, the activity. So we can see that Z is stand for ZAKWAN, H is stand for Hashimi, N is stand for NAZHAN, B stand for Bukhari, HR stand for HAFIZURRAHMAN. For example, team building, the primary responsibility is ZAKWAN. Next, the others is support. Next, we can see for project planning, the primary responsibility is Hashimi and Bukhari, and the others will support, same as the other chart. We have primary responsibility and secondary responsibility. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mohamad HAFIZURRAHMAN bin ZAMRI from the group Nicola. So, thank you to my friend. I will continue to discuss about my part, which is the AON diagram. So, what is the AON diagram? So, as we can see, the diagram, the box is contain the activity name and also the activity duration. The top of the box have two components, which is EST and EFT, and each of that stand for the early start time and early finish time. And the bottom of the box have also have two component, which is LST and LFT. LST stand for the latest start time and LFT stand for the latest finish time. So the AON diagram is used to identify the critical parts of a project, which is the sequence of tasks that must be complete on the time in order for the project to be complete on schedule. So let's see how the AON diagram for this project. So usually the AON diagram start from the left to the right. Start with the start until the finish of the project. Next is the slack of each activity. So the first column is for the activity, contain the activity A until activity L. So to calculate the float day, LST must subtract with the EST and LFT subtract with the EFT. So after do the calculation, we can see the float day for activity A, B, C, F, G, I and also L have a zero float day. So when the float day is zero, so we can pick as the critical path method. So thank you so much. I will pass to my friend Mohamad Bukhari.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mohamad Al-Bukhari bin Mohamed Amin. So thank you for Muhammad HAFIZURRAHMAN for explaining. So next in this section, I will be explain about the critical path. So basically, the critical path is determined based on the slack of each activity. So in this project, the critical path of the minimum days to complete is 27 days. So next is the Gantt chart. So as we can see in here, for the first day of the project is building a team. The next 3 days is project planning. The next first day is evaluating a site for solar PV potential. Next is to apply the NEM project scheme under NEM Rakyat. For the 7 days is to design the solar PV system which comply with NEM requirement and specification. The next 3 days is selecting the components. For the next 14 days is the installation of PV system and new meter if needed. So the next 7 days is to testing and commissioning. Next first day is to submit the contract and TNC form through TNB. Next is to calculate the total cost of investment including electricity bill, which required 2 days. And the next 2 days is calculate the ROI. For the last 5 days is to finalize our documented works. So conclusions about this project. So this proposal outline the specification, objective and scope of the project. include the activities as well as the duration of each activity, as well as the predecessor and successor for each activity. If the installation begins on 1st January 2023, the expected completion date is 18th of February 2023. Because solar PV panels are expensive and construction is complicated, a large amount of equipment is required. Therefore, budget estimates will be high. So I think that's all for our project presentation. Thank you for hearing, and thank you.